Hi guys. So we're continuing with our Carmilla flashback. We're doing episodes 11 through 15 today. So I'm sorry if you don't like Carmilla, but that's what's happening there. I am also going to apologize that the Doctor Who video from this past scheduled Doctor Who video didn't get up. I tried so hard. I uploaded it 6 times, and every time, the first 5 times, it said it was blocked worldwide. Then I got a piece of advice to say, saying you should try taking out the opening theme and the ending theme, and that might help. So I needed to fix something anyway, so I went in and I did that. Then I uploaded it again. And it didn't say blocked, but it said contains copyrighted content. But as long as I was okay with them putting ads in it, then they said you didn't have to do anything else, you're fine. Like, fine, whatever. I don't care at this point. Just put your ads in. So it uploaded, and then I watched it, and there weren't any ads, so I was like, okay, YouTube, what the hell? But I thought it was okay. I was so happy. It was up. It was okay. And then I got a message from someone saying that part of it had been cut. So I went back in again, and I was going to do some more editing to try to fix it. But by that time, pretty much all of my reaction moments had been cut out because of the play matches, and it was just not worth it. So I'm sorry. I'm really sorry if you were looking forward to it, because that is a really good episode. But I couldn't make it work. BBC is apparently very difficult to work with. I'm going to try again in the next one, and hopefully we can work something out, but yeah. We are starting with 11. Season 1, episode 11 is called A Visit from the Dean. Okay, here we go.
And what kind of thrilling adventure do we find ourselves on now, gentle viewers? Our terrifying Dean of Students has dropped by unannounced, and she's reprimanding my awful roommate in the hallway. So naturally, I thought I'd share the fun with you.
This is so childish. You'd think we were still 6. Shh, I can almost hear what she's saying. Okay, I didn't go out of my way to get you accepted here to have you behaving like this, and then she's in trouble.
Well, she's as wonderful a student as she's a roommate.
Schadenfreude isn't very attractive, Laura.
That's so satisfying.
Oh, if you don't take care of this situation, I will. Then all that's missing is, now straighten up and fly right, young lady.
Gross. I know.
What's this mean?
She so had it coming.
Oh, hi, Miss Dean, sir. You're disapproving us. So lovely to
Miss
have you
Dean,
visiting the
sir.
floor, ma'am.
What is Perry wearing?
Well, as much fun as we've all been having, I'm sure LaFontaine and I have a student crisis to attend to somewhere. Oh, yeah, totally. But before we go, I have some questions for you. But
you can ask her later.
But now, Susan.
Did you want to talk about it?
No.
Like you care.
There's a personal chewing out by the Dean of Students that is impressively badass or something.
But I so had it coming, didn't I?
Look, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, you did.
You think the dean is raking me out over the coals because I don't play along with your passive-aggressive chore wheel?
No, but... well, why would she be?
I said some things she didn't like.
When, in your seminar?
This age doesn't understand obligation. It's like an undersea anchor impossible to escape.
Ah. Worried you aren't living up to expectations, huh? Only child of a massively overprotective dad here. And I didn't even have to get all Coleridgey about it.
Hey! Guys.
You ever heard him knocking?
Apartment. Victorious.
Wait, they are the ones behind it taking the girls?
Oh no, more like they're the ones using dander collected at parties to seed an immense interconnected fungus throughout campus.
I'm sorry, what now?
Apparently it's a communications experiment, or maybe a very complicated risotto recipe. I don't know, that's not the victory part. These creepy little proto-scientists have been photo-tracking every party on campus for their documentation.
We have pictures of every party where the girl has disappeared.
Yep.
And we can track all the girls through all of them. Danny, you are brilliant.
I like the sound of that.
She's like, yeah,
Sorry,
bye.
I forgot that I have to be anywhere but here.
Oh, that's too bad. No, come back.
Don't.
What? Why not?
She's just had kind of a rough day is all.
Oh, no, you are entirely too sweet.
Yeah.
Shut up, Danny.
Come on. We have hundreds of photos to sort through. Well, that is going to be incredibly boring.
No, I don't want to see the goldfish.
Well, I'm awake.
I wipe my head off or anything. Okay, no, but I think I found something.
Where?
Okay, look, I'll see. The sister who's missing?
Mm-hmm.
There she is at the party. And take a look at who's with her.
I'll see.
Holy crap. Carmilla.
I'll see. Come on. Okay. Let's just move along here to episode 12, Evidence.
Good evening. Danny had to hit an emergency summer society meeting, so it's just me today. And I know that some of you watching think that we're overreacting, but you've got to admit it looks pretty hinky. The Under the Sea party. And yes, that is Sarah Jane dancing with the gentleman who apparently thought a shirt didn't go with his seahorse crown. But the interesting thing is about 5 feet behind them, where Carmilla is at a swim team party. This is the Psychology Wine and Cheese. So what the
This
hell is
Photoshop
the
kills me.
philosophy dilettante doing there? Giving Natalie the stalkeristy stalker eyes ever. And then there is the nail in the proverbial coffin. Carmilla talking to, possibly even arguing with Elsie. Or, as you may remember her, Steady Buddy. I may have no idea what's going on here, but it seems pretty damn clear that my sleeps all day, chocolate pinching replacement roommate is up to her ultra thick eyeliner in it. And if she is, well, confronting her has historically been about as effective as using bug spray on Voldemort.
Yeah, I just don't enjoy getting hauled in front of the dean because of your ridiculous project.
So, do I start not just surveilling her, but actively investigating my own roommate, completely disregarding anything like interpersonal boundaries and essentially stalking her? We started yesterday. And the best part is, she's too lazy to even watch these videos, so I can keep you guys in the loop and she'll never even know. Or if she is watching, then she'll have to confront me. What the?
Are you okay? Were they trying to get in?
Who are they?
The Zetas. They were trying to walk the women's swim team home from the gym, but then one of the girls called us for help. But then someone and now it's turned into this big turf war over who'll protect the gym or the track or who knows what else. I didn't know if it made it this far. I had to know that you were okay.
Oh, wow, that's... why are you wearing war paint?
Hey, little nerd, Laura, are you in there?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Laura, what are you doing?
Oh, Kirsch. We're fine.
I was really worried about you. Whoa! Ow, 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 ow.
Jeez.
Fucking
Why are
Danny.
you this? We're always trying to hurt me.
Karma?
Uncool. Little Summer Psycho, not Mark of Kingsbury Rules.
That's boxing, dumbass. I can't believe you let him in here. For all you know, he was trying to take the storm for the Zetas.
Hey, we're just trying to protect hot people.
The only threat to the girls in this dorm are you and your frat daddy friends.
Okay, maybe we should just...
That is unfair.
That's how little she is.
The like bronies of my heart, all right? I'm not even trying to hook up because I got a girlfriend, all right? So why is everyone so pissed at us? Because we're trying to keep the campus safe.
Because safe for you goons does not mean safe for everyone else.
Okay, no, seriously.
If you weren't such a hottie, you'd be in big, big trouble.
Bring a pop collar.
Okay, stop it. Stop it, both of you. I get it. You both want to protect the campus. So has it even occurred to you that while you're duking it out, nobody is actually out there protecting anybody at all? But he's the one who started. He started it. Really? Not helping.
And he didn't start it.
The actually useful thing to do might be to skip the smackdown in the middle of my bedroom and go talk some sense into the idiots setting fire to security carts over who gets to protect people.
She's so Xander. Ugh.
She's so smart.
Yes, she is.
And a hottie, that's the...
And it's time for you to go now. Are you sure it'll be okay?
I'm fine. Besides, she doesn't know that I know anything. I should be worried about you, turf war and all.
It's mostly just paintballs and anchovies. I'll talk him down.
Take care. Take care. Not that my excruciating awkwardness should even be a blip right now. I've got a roommate to surveil.
Just really didn't like her in the first season. She.
Okay. There was nothing there. Because I left the stupid camera on and I've looked through all the surveillance. There was nothing here. It just seems so real. Like that weird moment of clarity during magic hour or the moment right before a car crash. I was in my room and there was something in my bed. Something under my bed. This dark, prowling thing without a face. And then it was this little girl crying. I tried to pull the blankets over my face to hide, but the darkness started seeping through them like blood more and more until I was drowning in it.
Okay. So that was 12. 13 is called I Spy.
No,
Smug.
damn it, that was a whole update. Apparently delivered to a dead camera. Fine. So, some of you have been kind enough to point out the unholy night terrors that have been ruining my sleep for the past several nights might not be related to my steady diet of frosted filk treats and grape soda, and kind of sound like the dreams that Natalie was having right before she got pod peopled. And between that and trying to figure out how Carmilla's involved with the missing girls, I'm kind of freaking out.
You're jumpy. Worried about your girlfriend making peace with the frat boys?
What? No, and Jenny's not my girlfriend, I don't think. Just, some squicky dreams from the last few nights.
Well, dreams are supposed to be strange.
Mm-mm.
Last night I dreamt I was trapped
nervous.
under a bed.
You dreamt you were under a bed?
Yeah, above me someone was crying. A little girl in a white nightdress. And then it rained blood down the edges of the bed until I drowned.
How creepily specific.
But just a dream. No reason for all of this twitchiness.
There is no twitching. There is an absence of twitching.
Clearly. You know, if it's really making you so miserable, I could get you something to help you sleep.
That's uncharacteristically considered of you.
Yeah, well, I just don't want you losing it and torching all my stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course not. And yeesh, that has not been easy either. Of course, Carmilla decides to start acting like a halfway decent human being the moment I figure out she's probably kidnapping people.
Where's she headed?
Philosophy of Tyranny in the Robespierre building.
Got it covered.
No, we don't. This is insane.
Philosophy of tyranny?
Because yes,
That's a real
gentle
class
viewers,
there.
the roommate surveillance project has been active for the last week, and the results are starting to look profoundly WTF. First, of course, are the hours and hours of scientific evidence that she's the worst roommate ever, but her preternatural ability to clog the shower drain with her hair is only the tip of the weird bird. She's nocturnal, she sleeps until
So?
4, then vanishes like a puff of antisocial smoke until just before daybreak.
Sounds like a
She
teenager.
doesn't eat anything besides my chocolate and that protein slurry
Still
she keeps
sounds
in
like a
soy milk
teenager.
container, a diet which I suspect means she should be dead. Not freaktastic enough? That's fine, because here's where we go, full on weekly world news. I know Silas has some quirks, but I'm pretty sure spontaneous combustion, super strength, and an all-protein diet weren't options on my roommate form. I mean, we've all seen the pictures of her with the missing girls, and now this? How likely is it that she... hey! I'm not doing anything.
Sure. Your Snape rod effect is still on the screen, Spav. I just came to bring you this.
Is that a dried batwing?
Yeah, it's a charm or whatever to help with the bad dreams. You're annoying, but if you burn out from sleep deprivation, they'll probably replace you with someone even more OCD. The devil you know?
Thank you. So, in the spirit of all this newfound closeness, maybe you could tell me where you go all night.
I'll have to keep some
That
of my
was subtle.
secrets. Otherwise, I'll lose my air of mystery, won't I?
Was that? Was she just flirt?
Duh. Okay. So we're on episode 14 called Research Trip.
Okay, so if that really was flirting, then there are two options here. One, my immoral, jerkface, possible kidnapper roommate has a crush on me and is giving me presents. Or two, my immoral, jerkface, possible kidnapper roommate is pretending to have a crush on me and is giving me gifts because I'm next.
How come the human college girl
There.
is the character
Hey,
that is
we
least
lost sight of the
likable
shotguns
in this
again. I
situation?
swear I knocked on every stall at the ladies. I'm developing a
And you're
reputation.
rooting for the vampire.
Jeez,
What is
Frost,
wrong
I'm
with
gonna
the
be jerking
scenario?
full circles.
Oh, you know, I miss my dad. I have papers due. I'm about to be my roommate's next victim.
You really think you're in the crosshair?
Oh no. Even if I am, what am I supposed to do about it? I showed Perry footage of Carmilla lifting like a 400-pound duffel bag, and Perry suggested Carm must
Bag.
really be giving it her all at boot camp.
Yeah, Paralyte's normal. She's been that way since we were kids.
Which I don't
She's
get.
full monsters, and she pretend to be the monster's mommy. And wouldn't it be nice if we brushed our monster teeth and did our monster homework?
I don't understand that because season 0,
We could go
she's
over her
clearly not normal.
Well, there's at least one other person we know who has a vested interest in reining Carmilla in.
Are you suggesting
That you shower, change into your best cover quarter duds, we crash the faculty club and present your evidence to the dean?
the dean? Aren't we supposed to be avoiding her at all costs?
Desperate times, desperate measures. Come on, let's get you changed into something with a little less whiff.
Are you saying that I smell?
I'm saying
Yes.
I want the way you smell to affect my credibility with the dean. I've got a couple of theories to run by her about the swim team.
You should have never gone out that late.
I know.
And without telling anyone.
I know. We're sorry. We're sorry. For
This is
everyone
the
who
shirt
just kept us at
that
home, it's
Natasha
been an
stole.
exciting evening. LaFontaine and I crashed the faculty club.
Brilliantly disguised as young visiting professor and research assistant.
Sadly, our cover was blown before we could get to the dean because somebody decided to get into an argument with the head of Gnostic mathematics about the long-term strategic plan for the Illuminati.
It was a chance to raise awareness.
But as we were being bodily dragged from the club, I snatched victory from the jaws of total failure by snatching this off the wall. This is the dean's special council meeting in 1954. So, is that Carmilla's grandmother, great aunt?
She was
There's
on the
no
special
names on the back of
council?
the photo, but there was one way to find out.
Oh, sure. You know, tell it like,
This insane plan that the pair of you hatched was the next logical step. Do you know what this girl did? At 6:48 p.m., these two geniuses decided to hit up the library.
Which I admit, in retrospect, was not the most brilliant idea. Thanks.
Everything in your fridge is made of glucose and palm oil. I'm surprised you don't have scurvy.
I know, but delicious cookies? Everything was fine. At first. As soon as we got there, everyone was leaving the building, and yes, when the sun went down, we started to hear something...
Skittering?
Yeah, skittering in the stacks, just beyond your periphery. But we made it into the first sub-basement just fine.
The online system was really helpful. It gave us a cross-reference list before I even started typing.
So we found most of the textbooks before...
But you realized the staircase wasn't in the same place anymore?
Before we realized we might have gotten a little turned around. And that most of the computer monitors we could see were warning us to run now. And the skittering was getting closer.
Which is when it became apparent that some of the books were, airborne, and that the card catalog was attacking us. A copy of Absalom tried to slice open my left wrist. Ruined Faulkner for me.
So, we did what any normal person would do if they were caught in a flying vortex of modern literature and index cards from the 1970s.
We created a flamethrower using a lighter and some Mace Laura Stadgaper.
Which left us trapped in a flaming vortex.
I get a text that says, "Come quick, stuck in library, bring fire extinguisher."
Okay, yes, but it turned out fine. The sprinklers came on and we snuck out a basement window.
Oh yeah, with God knows what on your heels.
Okay, yes, it was stupid, and we're lucky that you didn't have to save our souls. Now, can we please skip to the part where once every 20 years, like clockwork, this girl shows up at Silas? Mercalla Karnstein. Arkilma Karstein. Seriously, she just keeps on switching around the letters in her name like nobody's ever heard of an anagram. And every time she does, a bunch of girls go missing. Poof. Vanish. Never seen again. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but she's nocturnal, she's so strong, she's at least 80 years old, and she drinks blood.
Well, yeah, but we know she's a vampire. I mean, we've known that since the blood in the milk container, right? Vampire, 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 yeah?
I mean, I thought it was obvious. Of course, I always knew the show was about vampires, so... And we move on to the conclusion of today's video, which is episode 15, My Roommate the Vampire. Alright.
You all knew I was living with a vampire and nobody said anything?
You really
Duh,
didn't know?
Laura.
I didn't know. I thought you were just playing it cool, didn't want to seem all speciesist.
Speciesist?
She's not a vampire.
Yeah, like Danny.
There's no such thing as vampire.
And Xander.
She's a light-averse octogenarian with an extreme hemoglobin deficiency and really good skin.
Oh, Perry.
I'm gonna go make some more hot chocolate.
So, something is taking girls, and the ones that have come back have gone full-on Lucy from Dracula, and you don't think that my roommate being a vampire is, I don't know, pertinent information?
Well, when you put it that way.
And I'm next. She's making with the creepy dreams and the charms.
And the seduction eyes. Seduction eyes?
I am totally next. Quick, check my neck. Is there anything on my neck?
Wait, seduction eyes?
There's nothing in your neck, Laura. You're fine.
Jesus,
Oh my gosh.
Danny.
She's a vampire. My roommate is an honest to Lestat vampire. How do we stop a vampire?
Staking, decapitation, immolation. There's something here about driving an iron needle through her heart. Normally I'm not into this kind of stuff, but in the case of seduction eyes, I could definitely warm up to the thought.
No! No. We can't immolate everyone that La Fontaine thinks is a supernatural creature.
Just the ones that are flammable.
Because only nut bars make plans to set people on fire without proof of anything. Does Salem ring a bell?
We have plenty of proof. Do you want to put some soy milk in my
Salem
coffee?
ring a
I'm
bell.
little anemic.
No, she's
Seriously.
right. Perry. Even if we can turn Carmilla into a vampire bonfire, we still wouldn't be able to figure out what she's done with Betty or the other missing girls. We don't need her dead.
How about her being right about you can't just
her
do that to everybody that
We need
you
a way
think
to get
is
some
a
answers.
vampire?
Okay, so how
Or
do we
some
find
kind of
the vampire?
supernatural creature, because it's
Well, I have an idea. but
not
you are not gonna like
right.
it. What?
Salem.
Well,
Yeah?
we use something she wants to lure her into a rope net or a room full of garlic. We'll have to figure out that second part.
Garlic doesn't work.
What do we use as bait in this case?
Well,
Laura.
Woo! Next week is gonna be fun. Okay, so that's it for our reaction video today. Danny really pissed me off in this series of episodes. Laura too. I could write a lot I could talk a lot about Laura and her immaturity in season 1 and why it bothers me. She just... I think she models herself, or she wants to be so much like these heroines, you know, like Lois Lane and Veronica Mars and Buffy and these crime fighters, these female crime fighters. And then she gets faced with something like a roommate who doesn't clean up after herself or stays out all night or something, and she goes crazy, and she's just very snarky and very immature about the whole thing, and suddenly, because they behave that way, well, they must be up to no good. And it just reminds me of kids I knew in junior high, and they were so quick to judge. You know, that's what she's very judgmental, especially in that first season, and in the second season a bit too. And it bothers me. I like Laura. Don't get me wrong. I like her a lot, especially in the third season and parts of the second season. Not so much, but there are parts where I like her a lot. But I think she's really got a lot of growing up to do. Okay, so Laura bothers me in that sense in season 1. Danny, like I've said, Danny's a Xander. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and it's possible that you won't, because Xander is a reference to Buffy, and Buffy has been off the air for 15 or so years, and the major sense of the Carmilla fandom are young. They're like 15 to 24, somewhere in there. So there's some of you that weren't even born when it went off the air, let alone when it was on. And if you haven't gone back and watched it, like everybody should, then you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, Xander and Carmilla takes a lot from Joss Whedon's body of work. There are a lot of Buffy references, and so you should go back and watch just to catch all of those. It would make more sense. You wouldn't be like, who, what? Okay. Xander was Buffy's best male friend. He originally had a big crush on her. He fancied himself being in love with her, but she wasn't interested. She just wanted to be his friend. And so he became her best friend, one of her best friends. And he stayed her best friend for the run of the show. Unfortunately, Xander never really got over her. There's casual mentions here and there throughout the show about his hero worship of her and how his jealousy of other people she was with was so overwhelming. Xander also, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because Xander, it feels like Danny was modeled after Xander in a way. Xander was a friend of the main heroine person, Danny. They both had boy names, Xander, Danny. Xander was had feelings for the heroine, but was ultimately friend-zoned, Danny, and was not happy about it, Danny, especially considering who she ultimately chose. Danny hated Carmilla, hated her, and Xander, Buffy was always hooking up, well, not, I shouldn't say always, but she had a tendency for vampires. There was Angel and there was Spike, and Xander hated both of them. And he made that very obvious all the time. Both of them were quite speciesist, like Laugh, was mentioning there. Danny always making jokes about Carmilla being a vampire. Xander did the exact same thing, maybe even some of the same ones. Always referred to Spike and Angel as Dead Boy or Dead Boy Jr. or I can't think of the other ones right now, but there were a lot. There's just a lot of stuff in there that's similar, and Xander was always my least favorite character on the show, and to have such a clear representation of him on another show that I like so much, it's a bit worrisome. Moving on. I like Carmilla in this series of episodes because you can see her in the beginning when she's still trying to hide who she is. Laura doesn't know that she's a vampire yet, so she still gets to pretend like she's just a college kid. And so she's just hanging out in her dorm room and being snarky and being herself, and she doesn't really have the weight on her shoulders that she does, in the next batch, and it's kind of nice to see that. It's not really until she has the confrontation with the dean that she starts getting mopey and horrible again. I don't know. I like Perry in this too. Perry, I miss Perry. Laugh is basically Laugh. I mean, whatever. And Kirsch. Oh, that was the other thing. Danny, her confrontation with Kirsch, and she's all like, oh, well, it's his fault. He did this. He started it. And I was like, no, he didn't. He came to the door to see if Laura was all right, and Danny attacked him, which is what she does. She attacks first, and then she thinks later. She did it with Carmilla a couple times, too. I don't know. This is a very anti-Danny situation here, and I'm sorry. But I guess it's my video and I get to say what I want. How about that? Okay, I'm gonna end this now. And I will see you guys in maybe Saturday. I think I'm doing a Person of Interest on Saturday, or a Doctor Who, I forget. I will check and I'll get back to you, okay? Bye, guys.